wow is all I can say about Hostage right now. And we had obviously Erica Durant's tweeting during Hostage while it was aired, and okay, Perry White, Lois Lane, probably it's got to be the best team up ever in Smallville as far as I'm concerned. I mean, never mind Clark and Lois, or Clark and Lana, or Clark and Pete Ross, or, you know, Clark and Oliver Queen. No. Perry White and Lois Lane. Those two, Michael McKean and Erica Durant, had amazing on-screen chemistry between the pair of them. It was really good to see them together, and she even throws in the word chief as well, which was superb, absolutely superb. This episode, Hostage, sees the return of Martha Kent and Perry White. They come back to the farm for a few days, and there's an instant though just before they arrive. Clark and Lois are having a bit of a lovers' tiff, as it were. They're having a bit of an argument. Lois suggests that they have a break. That's just before Martha walks through the front door, and then it sort of all goes quiet, kind of thing. Then they sit down for a nice little dinner, all four of them. But it's during the dinner that Lois drops a bombshell for Martha, as well as Clark anyway. But for me personally, this bombshell that Lois drops is pivotal for Clark in himself, you know, for him to move forward with his destiny and becoming Superman, as it were. He doesn't want for him and Lois to have any sort of break or anything, but I think it's the trust issue from the previous episode that Lois still feels that Clark cannot trust her in some sense. But as the episode progresses, the kind of, you know, Lois, well, I wouldn't say Lois is starting to change her mind a bit, but Clark starts to believe that, you know, maybe there's a way he can turn things around, to make, you know, to allow Lois to let him trust her in some sense. So we're hopefully going to find out in Salvation what's going to happen there. Red Queen, well, as we all said, we knew it was Martha, but there was parts of this episode where they were throwing us off, and people were mentioning Tess. Oliver mentioned Tess, even Vala, Fiore's little sister, mentioned Tess as well. So it was like everyone was throwing us off Martha Kent. They were all saying it was Tess. We're thinking it's Martha. So I was confused. I was like, oh my god, is it Martha? Is it Tess? No, it's got to be Martha. It's definitely Martha Kent. But I think what really came to a head was when it was the kryptonite that was being flashed to Clark, because he actually, you'll see it, what he does, but the kryptonite is flashed to Clark, and then he kind of puts the two and two together, realises that his mother is the Red Queen. The Book of Ra is featured in this episode as well, and we find out what its true power is, what the purpose of the Book of Ra actually was intended for. And I can say right now, although it's probably in some sense good for Clark, but it's also bad for Clark as well. So yeah, the Book of Ra, as good as it sounds, it's still bad. Doesn't matter who's in possession of it. The question is, how much of the power that it possesses does Zod actually know about it? That's the question. Clark now knows its purpose. How he's going to use it, yeah, again, we're going to wait and see in Salvation. Maxwell Lord, as we've seen in some of the pictures, he's in this episode, and there's a specific reason why he's in this episode, because his involvement is with more to do with Tess. We know that he's working for the Red Queen. We find out why he's working for the Red Queen, and you'll see why as well. But Perry and Lois, seriously, I have to go back to that, because Perry and Lois find out that they're both stumbled upon the same story regarding the Book of Ra and the Red Queen. Well, Lois is the one working on the Book of Ra, Perry is the one working on the Red Queen, but you know, all things are pointing to the Book of Rao. We find out who actually was in possession of the Book of Rao before the Red Queen gets it off this person. So it really did throw some surprises. But the other thing that really saddened me about this episode was Martha was being reminded of Jonathan Kent in a few scenes. There was one in particular where Perry White is walking through the front door with some like, I don't know, I think he was carrying logs of wood or something, but he was wearing Jonathan Kent's coat, and you see the look on Martha's face, and it's like, oh, it's just she welled up, bless her. Yeah, no, seriously, now we've just got one more episode to go. As much as I don't want Smallville to end, I want to see how the season finale is going to play out. I know, and I have a feeling that it is going to be epic. Forgot to mention Chloe. She's brought Watchtower back online, although for a brief moment she didn't want to, and she does explain to Clark why she didn't want to as well. So, you know, she's trying to let Clark understand her side of things as to why she doesn't want Watchtower, or she doesn't want to be in charge of Watchtower in some sense. So she lets him in on some few home truths as well that she's kept from him. But no, above all, really, really good episode. As I say, Erica Durant has been tweeting during the episode as well, and she's also let in how much she enjoyed working with Annette O'Toole as well as Michael McKean, who play Martha and Perry, of course. So yeah, no, it seriously was an awesome episode. It was a shame that last week's CW promo completely spoiled the whole Red Queen theory, but as I say, during the episode we were being thrown from one side to the other, Tess or Martha, when eventually it was definitely Martha. So, but yeah, brilliant episode as always. As you know, I'm not going to be uploading any clips, so I apologise about that, but seriously, one more episode to go. Oh my god, what are we going to do? Nah, what are we going to do? Can I also say, by the way, that well done to everyone on Twitter who trended Smallville, as well as Erica Durant and Alison Mack tonight. Well deserved, although me personally I only trended Smallville. There was a bit of an issue between Alison Mack and Erica Durant's fans that almost split the entire Smallville fandom in two, which wasn't good, but in the end we eventually came together and we succeeded. Yes, we knocked that Justin Bieber kid off the block, so yeah, he's out of the picture. But thank you all for watching. As always, it has been excellent. One more week to go. I'm going to be sad as well as everybody else who've watched my reviews. But yeah, no, seriously, I am looking forward to Salvation, and let's just hope it's going to be epic. I'm hoping it's going to be epic. I know you think that you are hoping it's going to be epic. So, good night.